Hi everyone, my name is Naina Aluwalia. I am based in the city of Pune, an engineer turned into a hotelier, an event planner, and now finally an influencer slash content creator. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the virtual expert panel discussion organized by Requel. Requel, as we all know, strives towards offering efficacy-driven formulations to help address skin and hair concerns. And that isn't possible unless the brand has its ears to the ground, and therefore today we have Dr. Jushya Bhatia Sareen, a very well-known dermatologist, and Ms. Pravleen Kaur Bumrah, India's first skin-positive influencer, who will be talking about 5 minutes effective skincare, perfect for our busy lives.
Thank you so much, Naina, for introducing us, and thank you so much, Requel, for having us here.
Yes, I'm really excited for this discussion. Thank you so
much. My kind of discussion, because I'm a very lazy person when it comes to skincare. So I'm glad I'm able to contribute to this.
Yes. I think everyone's become a little lazy post-lockdown. So yeah,
actually,
everything really fast.
As all of us agree that hectic routines and lifestyles have sucked the time out of our lives to effectively take care of our skin. On top of it, we get overwhelmed with a lot of brands available in the market with so many ingredients. But before we get to the depth of this, Dr. Joshua, it would be great if you could briefly explain the term cosmeceuticals to our audience and why is it so important and trending these days?
Yeah, so cosmeceuticals is indeed a very interesting word to start with, because we are interested in skincare, but we don't want to entirely go the cosmetic way. So for people who genuinely want a fresh, dewy skin and a healthy skin and not cover it up with makeup all the time, for them, cosmeceuticals have their way. Cosmeceuticals was derived from two words, cosmeceutics and, or I can say cosmetics and pharmaceutical industry. So when you combine them together, so any cosmetic that has a pharmaceutical benefit or an active skincare benefit is known as a cosmeceutical. Of course, the regulations are not very tight because these are safe cosmetics and they can be used by every Tom, Dick and Harry in the market, and they don't have the tendency to cause overt reactions to your skin. That is why they're not pharmaceutical drugs. So that's what cosmeceutics are.
Interesting.
Doctor, can you also tell us about AHAs, vitamin C, niacinamides, and these ingredients?
Yeah, of course. So, these actives are the ones that cosmeceuticals have, which is why you can see a therapeutic benefit out of them. When you're starting on your skincare journey, because everybody comes to me asking for, doctor, can you write me a serum? But they don't know what they're looking for, what they're looking to change in their skin. So first, it's best to identify what you want to change in your skin, and then you can choose a cosmeceutical based on that concern. Vitamin C's, arbutins, azelaic acid, all these are great depigmenting serums, which means they improve the skin tone and skin color, and they even out your skin tone. Of course, they have no tendency to change your skin tone, but evenness is what they can give you by regulating the amount of pigmentation that's distributed on your skin. Even niacinamide does that. If you are starting on your skincare journey, I recommend start with simpler molecules such as a niacinamide, which is again a very softer molecule to begin with. And there are others that offer anti-aging benefits such as peptides or retinols or glucans, which can be used at bedtime, because anything that's anti-aging, it's collagen boosting and it's making your skin sensitive. So these are the actives that you incorporate towards the night for anti-aging skincare concerns. So these are all cosmeceuticals, but of course the basis of the skincare is not cosmeceutical. It's a basic face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen.
Great, thank you, doctor. I personally also follow the principle of using just as we need. I mean, according to your skin type, and this has actually saved me from using a lot of products available in the market and also saves my money. So yes, and now coming to Pravleen, since you've been into the beauty industry for quite some time now, what do you have to say about mindful consuming, and what are your views about the 5-minute skincare routine?
I think everyone has their 5-minute skincare routine every single day they wake up. For a lot of people, it's very therapeutic also, because it just calms them down. It's their me time. Like for me, I think my skincare routine is like my me time. I love to do it without any interference, and just sit in front of the mirror, do my skincare. And I think mindful consuming is just a very nice, simple way of giving your skin what it needs and keeping it in the very, very simple form, as doctor also said. I feel that every skin type is also different. So it's very important to kind of understand what your skin requires. For example, if you have acne or if you have scars, if you want to like even out your skin tone, it's very important for us to understand what will work best for our skin. And that's why I think the doctors come into picture, and that is when they can guide us in the best way, I feel. But I think like feeding our skin with what it requires is basically a very healthy way to go about it. And it's also very important to keep it very pocket friendly, because I think it can, because it's an everyday thing, it's going to like get over very fast, and you will have to refill it in no time. So, even if I like a particular moisturizer, or for example, the sunscreen, especially the one that Requel has, I think I've been using it for such a long time now. I have to like restock it every now and then. So for the products to be affordable. And I think that's why the 5-minute skincare is a very good way for mindful consumption.
I completely agree with that point. It is very important that I always encourage my patients that you go for products that are reasonably priced, because it's all about consistency in skincare. If you can't find a product that you want to be consistent with, because okay, I want to buy a great moisturizer which costs me a big $1 billion, but I would want to use them only once in my lifetime and not keep repeating it every month. But that will not make it a consistent skincare, and won't show effect on your skin. So to have that kind of effect on your skin, you need to be consistent, and that's why I create a budget-friendly regimen for you. So I completely agree on that point.
Thank you, Prableen, for sharing that. So taking from your point that 5-minute skincare routine can be pocket-friendly as well as skin concern specific. So Dr. Joshua, can you please share your expertise on what all ingredients, what all products can be used, which includes, I think, 10 steps, basic regime, which are 10 steps. I'm very, very keen to know that.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody in our life, any of us can follow the 10-step regimen. It's really impractical. So
very difficult.
Yeah,
actually,
and I'm not sure if your skin would love it too, because it's not possible to layer 10 things on your skin and ask it to behave well, because it's going to be just under the blanket of so many different products. It's going to feel suffocated. So I'm not sure how people do it, but I will just demystify what is the basic skincare regimen that you can choose for yourself. So first, before you start, know your skin type. How do you know your skin type? Most people are confused if they have oily, dry, or combination skin. So you can take a face wash test, is what we call it. So wash your face in the first thing in the morning, and do not apply anything on your face for like 30 minutes. Let your skin act by itself in 30 minutes and see how it behaves. If it's secreting oil, and if you start feeling oily, no stretchiness, that means it's oily. However, if you feel it's parched, it's dry, it's stretching from everywhere, and you feel the urge of moisturizing your skin, of course you have a dry skin. And if you feel that some portions are dry but some portions feel decent to us, that means it's a combination skin. When you have identified it, because a lot of brands are making products for specific skin types, and they will label it on the skincare. So you try, for example, if you have an oily skin, try finding products that are labeled non-comedogenic or non-acnegenic or non-pore clogging, because that's important. And once you've identified it, you can also start with a basic cleanser or a face wash, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen. Everybody has to have this in a skincare. Even if your skin is oily, you need to use a gentle moisturizer meant for your skin type. Because if your skin is not hydrated well, your skin is going to feel that it's dehydrated, and it's going to end up secreting more oil. It's going to worsen the situation for you. So even for people with oily skin, it's mandatory that you use a moisturizer. And of course, a sunscreen is a no-brainer. You have to use a sunscreen even when you're indoors. And beautifully, the brands have come out with tinted sunscreens, which is very relevant in the era of home schooling and in the working from home, because tinted sunscreens are going to protect you from the blue light that is emitted from the laptops, mobiles, LED bulbs, which is more relevant compared to any sun exposure that we have these days. So fix your sunscreen in your routine, and you can't go wrong with that. And once this basic regimen is done, I suggest you follow it for 3 months and see if it's suiting you well. Once you've identified that, then you start using serums or actives in your skincare. For example, your concern is anti-aging. Start with a basic vitamin C in the morning and a retinol or peptide at bedtime. Vitamin C is going to prevent collagen damage in future. So it's more preventive. Don't expect bombastic results out of it, because it's not meant to do that. It's meant to prevent aging and not treat it.
Correct.
Similarly, if you're, but vitamin C has additional properties. It comes with brightening properties. It evens out your skin tone. It gives you that nice glow that you want. Of course, you don't expect it in a month. You have to use it consistently for 5 to 6 months. Similarly, for a niacinamide or an azelaic acid or an arbutin, all these will improve your skin tone and texture. Retinols, on the other hand, not only are anti-aging, but they're also great anti-acne molecules. They control your oil, they tighten your pores, they exfoliate the skin. So these are the ones that you must use if you are facing any of these issues. People feel that retinols are anti-aging and they don't work for acne, when in fact they're meant to be great anti-acne agents. So if you have, if you have acne problem, stick to your retinols. And finally, there are acids which are into skincare now, like alpha hydroxy and the beta hydroxy acids. Alpha hydroxy acids are meant to exfoliate the skin. They will improve the penetration of other skincare products because the dead skin cells are removed. I suggest you start with a low percentage of a peel, like a 15% AHA, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And if you have oily skin, start with a BHA, such as a salicylic acid, which is meant to target the oil. So that's how you really need your skincare. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, that's how I recommend it.
I actually have a question, very random, but a lot of people do get confused if they should apply sunscreen like at night also. Like, for example, if I love the sunscreens, I love the Requel sunscreen. It's literally one of my favorites because it's very lightweight. It, like minimize. I feel that it kind of like blurs the pores also, and it's tinted also. So it gives like a very natural base, so I don't have to like go overboard with like a lot of products already after doing my skincare routine. But like, do you think it's important to apply at night or no?
My father is a dermatologist, and he made me realize this when I was like 12 or 13, when I started going out with friends, that it's so important to use a sunscreen. And back then we did not have tinted sunscreens. So from him, I've learned that yes, zinc is supposed to be applied at night as well, because it's, like I told you, it's going to protect you from the LED, so flashy LED lights everywhere in a party, or the strong LED, because we're not using CFL these days, we're using LED, and that LED has the potential of degrading your collagen and causing pigmentation on your skin, especially for people who have melasma. Tinted sunscreens are a must for people with melasma, because it is so going to protect them from indoor lighting. So and of course, like you just said, it makes a great makeup base. So why not? It reduces the amount of makeup that you need to use. So I might as well use my tinted sunscreen or my zinc sunscreen because it suits my skin tone rather than going overboard with my makeup.
Definitely.
And doctor, when we talk about seasonal skincare in specific, like we are in the winter season already. So what are the, according to you, what are the 2 or 3 favorite products required, essential for winter season that you cannot do without?
So I love bisabolol. I love ceramide. These are moisturizer ingredients that I want you to look for in your sunscreen. In your moisturizer, because these will hydrate your skin. They're not comedogenic. They'll not end up feeling greasy, but your skin feels supple and well hydrated. So it's similar to how a raisin is. A raisin is like it has no water, so the skin looks very wrinkled. But a grape, it has a lot of water. So that's how I explain that you need to have water in your skin to feel plump. So these are, and of course, oatmeal is something that I love. I also recommend urea and lactic acid, which are amazing ingredients for body moisturization in case you want to try something, or shea butter, which moisturizes skin very well in this weather.
Interesting.
Amazing, Dr. Jushra. I never knew skincare, especially concern basis, could be that easy and simple. And if I may ask, what are your 2 or 3 favorite products from Requel that you use on your regular skincare routine?
So very honestly, I do use their under eye cream. That's one of my favorites. The retinol 0.1% has been a savior, because when I was feeding my baby, I didn't want to go. Yes, absolutely, you have it. and I want to point out that a lot of brands do not make it in the zinc or the aluminium tube, which is so important to make, because this will improve the efficacy and also will prevent the degradation of retinol. So it's not most aesthetic looking tube, but it is essential. So the retinol has been a savior, absolutely. The sheer zinc is something that I use because, like I mentioned, it just suits my skin type, and I don't feel the need to apply anything else after I do that. Maybe a little bit of lip tint does the job for me. So these are the 2 products, and I have also my patients actually have been in love with the tinted sunscreen. They come and tell me that they want to stick to that sunscreen. So I'm keen on trying more on that. But these are my 3 favorite products from Requel.
That's amazing. And probably, if may I ask the same question to you, your favorite Requel products?
Yeah, I think I have been like a proper user of the tinted sunscreen. So that is one thing I really like. Yeah, I think that is one thing that really suited me also. And I was like, I'm always like very scared to try like new products, because firstly I feel that, you know, my skin is very sensitive, so it needs to perform very well on my skin for me to continue using the products. But even the oil free moisturizer, I really like that one also. It's very like lightweight, and I love the way it feels on my skin. So yeah, I really like these two products.
That's great. And we also took an Instagram survey where we have some questions from our audiences. Probably this one's for you. So Tenzin Chemi wants to know about other skincare and diets. Is there any reason why acne recurs? Any specific reason for that?
Okay, so I think acne is very subjective to different skin types. It is not a generic thing, because for me, for example, even though I have PCOS, my acne was hormonal, so it was painful. It had pus in it, so it was more painful, and it was a very like long, tedious journey for me to get out of it, properly using the products, properly going to dermats and stuff like that. But even when I had PCOS, I was never breaking out from dairy products, which is the case for a lot of people. Dairy products can make you break out, like it's proven also. And I have seen so many friends, and even my audience, all my followers also tell me that, you know, how does dairy not break you out? Because it breaks out for them. So I think it's very different for different people. Diet definitely plays a very big role. For me, I think I break out more when I'm having sweets and when I'm having oily food. So that is, I know that Achitike, when I'm going to get my periods, I am going to break out. That's for sure. But in the middle, if I know I have overeaten like sweets, or if I've like, you know, if I've gone above and beyond with my, you know, fried French fries and stuff like that, I know I will break out. So I make sure to kind of balance it out, or to avoid these things, because I personally don't want to break out as much, because of course it's a long process and it's painful. So for me, if it was like a normal you know, pimple, that was different. But like, if you can see now, I got it here also. So like I'll start developing it on my jawline, because it's hormonal, so it's very different for different people. So definitely diet plays a very big role. So you need to identify what works for you and what doesn't. I think doctors and dermatologists play a very big role, and they can actually guide you into telling you what will work for you and what won't. Secondly, I feel stress plays a very big role. I was, you know, I was suffering from anxiety for, I think, 2 years straight, 2.5 years. Like from lockdown, I was properly, like, I was in depression. So in those 2 years, I think I had my worst acne breakouts. The more I would stress, the more I would overthink, the more I would get anxious, my acne would just flare up, and there was no going back. It doesn't even have to be like on my face. I would start getting it on my back. I would start getting it on my shoulders. So I think that's also one thing that, you know, like stress plays a very, very, very big role. And thirdly, I feel also in terms of skincare, as I said, it depends on what suits you. So for example, if niacinamide and salicylic acid suits me, I feel that my skin gets dry, so I always pair it up with hyaluronic acid. That's the way it's worked for me. And I've also understood it over the years. So even if I'm going for like salicylic acid or any sort of serum or anything, I will always pair it up with hyaluronic acid, because it works for me. And I feel that my skin does not get too dry after using it. So if you're, for example, incorporating any actives, AHAs or BHAs, maybe start with I think starting with a face wash is also a very good option. That's what my dermat would tell me. Because when she introduced actives in my skincare routine, I was asked to use, the first thing was a face wash. So she told me to use a salicylic acid face wash, and I was sorted. After that, I could see my skin drying up because it was very concentrated, but then it would balance out with the rest of the skincare products. So understanding your skin type is very important, and then exactly catering to what your skin needs. Because you see so many products in the market, it's very, I think it's very tempting for us to try everything that's coming new. And you're more interested, actually, this is marketed well, or this I'm seeing in the ads, I want to try this out too. But I think if you just load your vanity with like 10 different products, you're just going to get confused and your skin is going to suffer. It's going to suffer it's going to empty your pockets also, and your skin will suffer, because if I'm adding like vitamin C and then salicylic acid and then niacinamide and like 10 different ingredients, it's going to hamper my skin. And people are not that they don't have as much knowledge about like each different active and what it needs to be paired up with, what it doesn't. So it can get very confusing. So like starting from the basics, as Dr. Joshua said, is very important. Like start with mild, less percentage products. Even if you're starting off with peels, I think it's very important to start with lesser percentage, so that you don't because a lot of people have sensitive skin, so it might purge your skin. So that's also one thing that can be a little like traumatizing for like when I used my first ever peel, I got a lot of purging. So it was very difficult for me also, because my whole face was red, and it's just the way my skin is. It's extremely sensitive. So yeah, I think there are like a lot of things because of which acne keeps reoccurring, but you need to listen to your body and listen to your skin, be mindful of what you're eating, and not over do with your eating habits or with your stress levels. If you think that you have anxiety, if you think that you're a very stressed person, then maybe like kind of distract your mind, try to be more like calm down. You can meditate, you can read books, just calm yourself down, because there are a lot of things that can aggravate your acne. So yeah,
Right.
I went on for too long. Did I bore you guys?
No problem. Actually, that was very informative. And I think we all at some point in our lives go through the exact same situations, and we don't know what to do, what products to use. So that was very informative. And thank you so much for that. So Dr. Joshua, I have a question for you. This is from Palak. Palak is asking us, there are so many serums to apply and it's becoming very difficult to choose. So what should we do in that case?
So we've just spoken about this at a length, that you need to identify your concerns. And if you have no skincare concern, you can still start with serums, such as, like I mentioned, because everybody needs anti-aging at one point, whatever be your skin type. So start with a basic, like a vitamin C in the morning and a retinol at bedtime. Start with retinol 2 to 3 days a week. Add an exfoliant like a glycolic acid or a mandelic acid, maybe let's say once a week, and that is about it for normal skin patients. But people who have issues like acne, you can try experimenting a little more, like niacinamide, zinc. These help curb your acne. Azelaic acid also helps you with marks as well as acne. Then there is the salicylic acid, which dissolves the oil in the skin cells. Retinols again will help you curb your oil production. Arbutin helps you clear the acne marks. So identify your concern accordingly, and don't go overboard with it. Like Praveen just mentioned, start with treating your acne first, then you treat your marks. And if of course it's too complicated, you need pharmaceutical products, not cosmeceuticals. In that case, you meet a dermatologist and get it sorted. And the problem is, if your acne is not treated, it's going to end up scarring, which means it leaves pits. And those are literally impossible to vanish. We can only treat them to some percentage, but not to a great extent. So don't think it's just a phase and it's just going to go away. Start using actives. It's going to be of benefit.
Amazing. That was so good. And thank you so much, Prableen. Thank you so much, Dr. Joshua, for your time. I would like to thank Requel for this amazing opportunity where we all of us could come together, talk about our personal experiences and our expertise. Thank you so very much. Is there anything that you would like to say before we end this?
I would also love to thank Requel. I think the panel discussion was amazing. I got to know so much from Dr. Joshua. I think always when you get like a professional kind of, a perspective, you kind of understand your skin and you understand a lot of things better. So thank you, Requel, for, letting us have a word with each other and learning more about our skin. So yeah.
Count on the same page. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your views and being with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for this amazing session. It was great having both of you all. Thank you, Requel. Thank you once again.
Thank you, guys. Hope to see you again soon.
Yes.